It's only been a month since I started budgeting and committing to my low buy year, and I am shook with how eye-opening it has been so far. What I have done in just a few weeks has been so eye-opening, and I'm almost certain that it will change the course of my finances forever. If you have any anxiety around money or finances, this video is for you. I've never been excited about spreadsheets and numbers, and the thought of budgeting has always made me want to run away from adult life. But this year I decided enough was enough, and it is finally time to get my finances sorted. So I am 34 years old this year, and I've never budgeted in my life, right? Why? How did I get here? I always told myself I wasn't good at maths. I'm bad with money. Spreadsheets scare me. I can't budget because my income always fluctuates. And budgeting will take too much time and I don't have enough time. None of these excuses are good enough excuses to not budget. Firstly, it doesn't take that much time to budget. It actually shocked me with how little time this took. And once I started to see the positive effects of budgeting, I realized that it was actually time well spent. Secondly, I was pretty bad at maths in school, but who bloody cares? That is exactly what calculators and spreadsheets are for. Next excuse, my fluctuating income. That's actually a reason why I really need to have a budget. And lastly, spreadsheets are only overwhelming the first time you look at them. Give yourself 20 minutes to play around with a spreadsheet, and once you are over that hump, all of a sudden the spreadsheet starts to make sense. And once you know how a certain spreadsheet works, it's like your brain now has a second brain. The spreadsheet I'm using, which I will show you guys today, is really thorough, and it comes with full instructions and video tutorials as well. And I highly, highly recommend it. From someone who hasn't budgeted before, this just makes it all so simple and so clear. I have seen so many people online recommend this exact product. That's why I actually bought it for myself. So I am wildly grateful that I purchased this. So grateful actually that I emailed the company and asked for a discount code to share. So I have linked that discount code for you guys in the description too, if you like the look of this spreadsheet. So how it's going to go today is I'm going to briefly update you on how my low buy year has been going, because it's definitely relevant to my finances. And I'm going to show you my budget and talk about the exact moment where I realized how my budget has opened my eyes to my spending. And then I'm going to show you how easy it was for me to set this up in case you are interested in doing it for yourself as well. I've got myself an iced coffee. Right, so my low buy year update. If you saw my first video about my low buy, you would have seen the rules that I gave for myself. I basically was pretty loose with my rules. The main thing I was really trying to tackle was buying clothes. So that's where I have my strict rules of only buying, I think I gave myself 7 items a year to buy. So it's the beginning of Feb, and I've now had my first month of my low buy year. And I have to say, the clothing aspect of it was so easy. I was definitely tempted a few times. I'll tell you about that in a second, but I feel great. I was working on the momentum of a new year. I was really motivated to get started with this low buy in a great positive way. And I really just found the first month not buying clothes very easy. But you know, it's only a month. It's not that long. So what I did was I set up a Notion page, which I can access from my phone. It's called Low Buy Year Journal. And I want to know more about my triggers. What gets me shopping? Why do I shop? So for me, it was about writing down the date and writing down the temptation along with the trigger. What triggered it? For instance, was it advertising? Was it an email? Was it someone talking about something? Was it a YouTube video I watched? So I'll share just a couple. I was tempted about 6 times, but I think there were way more because, you know, some days I was with my toddler and I didn't whip out my phone and write it down. I'll share 3 with you. So the first thing I was tempted to buy was homewares. And if you remember from my previous video, I actually said that I gave myself no rules for homewares because I have my homewares consumption under control. Turns out, we're going to find out in a little while that my homewares consumption is not under control. We're going to talk about that in a second. So that was the very first thing I was tempted to buy on the 4th of Jan. And it was cute pillows for Nate's bed, my son's bed. And I wrote the trigger for this. And the trigger was I saw a reel on Instagram. So when I'm tempted to buy something, it's usually when I like click on it and I go into it and I really see the price and consider purchasing it. That's like a that's like a temptation, like a real solid temptation for me. The next thing I was tempted to buy was clothes, and in particular activewear. And the trigger for this was emails, so email marketing. So I made sure I quickly unsubscribed from that email. Here goes my sweaty upper lip. It's very hot in here. If you want to see my makeup routine, it was posted last week. I talk about how sweaty my upper lip gets. Gorgeous. Okay, and then the last thing I'll share with you for the other thing that I got tempted to buy was, okay, so I was out and about and I went to the post office to return my Daughters of India dress because I needed to swap sizes. I needed to get a small size. And when I was out at the post office, it was just the one thing I was going out for. And I didn't have my son with me, and I, had a bit of freedom, and I was like, what else do I need when I'm out here? I was trying to like justify being out of the house and near the shops to buy something. And I thought that was quite interesting as a trigger. The trigger for me to being tempted to buy something then was being out near the shops. So yeah, those are a couple that I'm going to share with you today, but there were more as well. And I think it was really important for me to write down those exact triggers because yeah, you want to know like what is triggering you so you can be aware of it for one. And so every time you open Instagram and you go on Reels, like this could be a moment where I'm going to shop, or I'm going out to the shops now and I get tempted every time I go out to the shops to buy something different. So I'm just going out for my one errand and that is it. Knowing these things just can really help us, I think. And so it's been really valuable for me to write down my temptations and my triggers in my journal. So I definitely recommend that if you are doing your own low buy year. Let's talk now about budgeting, and I'm going to talk to you about my homewares first. So this is my first time budgeting, and I used a budgeting spreadsheet from CoPlenty. Highly recommend. All the details are in the description. The one that I used is the yearly budget version 2.0, and it gives quite a great overview of things. So included in the budget, you pop in basically, your income and your expenses, but you also have this table where you track all of your spending. And for me, I've always been reluctant to track my spending because I think it's going to take way too long. Besides the whole setup process and trying to understand the spreadsheet, tracking my spending took me maybe about 40 minutes to an hour to actually just pop in everything that I'd spent throughout the month, all the transactions that I'd made. So when you think about it in the terms of like a whole month, I've just dedicated an hour, and after now seeing the information that it's given me, I am so happy that I spent that hour. That is a great hour well spent. I could have easily just sat on my phone and scrolled some reels for an hour, but instead I've located an hour of my life to tracking my spending, and it has been the best thing ever done. It's only been a month. I can't wait to see what else I can dig up and see from tracking my spending. But basically what tracking my spending showed me was that I was just spending on things that I had no idea I was actually spending on. I thought I was really good at not spending on homewares, and turns out, let's have a look, home. I gave myself a $100 budget at the beginning of the month because I knew I wanted to get some plants for the bedroom because I want better air quality in the bedroom, so I wanted to get some plants. This one I propagated myself and I already had all those things in here, but I got another one and I got a plant stand and a pot for it. So I gave myself a $100 budget for that. Turns out I ended up spending $250 on homewares. Yeah. You can shower.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
I'm going to be too loud.
Thanks. Sorry, Alex has just jumped into the shower if you can hear him. So I want to show you now the budget and kind of go over a bit of my spending this month. I know that majority of my expenses are spent on health and medical. Basically, last year was my year of health. I was trying to get a lot of things under control, and I also include my therapy sessions and my yoga in health and medical as well. So I go see a therapist every 2 weeks and I go to yoga once a week as well. So the majority of my expenses was on health. I gave myself a budget of $1,240 and I ended up spending $1,537.49. That is basically a huge chunk of my income is going to health and wellness. That's important to me. My life has changed so much now that I have prioritized health, and hopefully I'm not going to be spending this much. Like, I'm still in the midst of trying to get a lot of things under control, and hopefully I can see my psych once a month eventually, once I get a lot of my mental health stuff under control as well. So I'm hoping to bring this down a little bit, but for now I am okay with spending this money. It's nice to see the real amount, because I knew that I was spending a lot of my chunk of my income on health, but it's nice to see the total amount. I actually have another surgery coming up at the end of this month, which is going to completely skew things again, but I think I'll get charged for that in March, but I have to get all my wisdom teeth out. That is definitely going to impact my budget and my spending, but I have been putting away money for that for about 6 months, and I also have my emergency fund on top of that if for some reason the bills just exceed what I think they're going to be. It's unfortunate that bits of it are covered but bits of it are not covered, so it's still going to cost me a couple of $1,000s. Here's a huge discrepancy in my budget and what I actually spent, and that is books. And I know where I went wrong with this, but I want to explain myself. I gave myself the budget of $50 for books, and I ended up spending $251.12 on books in a month. And I know where I went wrong. I'm really into reading spirituality books at the moment to try to just have a better mindset. They've been amazing, but I bought 3 in one go. I was like, I need to smash these out. The other area I went wrong with that was Nate decided that he's scared of the dark, and I was realizing that a lot of the books that we were reading him at night had quite intense storylines and were quite imaginative, so I wanted to buy him some really calm books to read before bed. So I bought him 5 books, which was probably a bit excessive, but you do these things for your kids when they're scared. So I bought him 5 really calm books to read before bed. After seeing this now, I know that I can set some better rules for myself for books. So homewares, I'm going to give myself more rules. I'm going to give myself a better budget for homewares and more rules. And I'm going to give myself some rules for books too. I don't know what they are yet, but I'm going to sit down and figure them out. But just giving myself a budget and seeing what I actually spend on things during the month has helped to show me where I actually do need to give myself some rules for my low buy year, and maybe where I can pull back a little bit. Makeup and skincare, I spent double the amount that I wanted to. Budgeted $50, I spent $103.50. So I spent a lot more. So that's definitely an area where I can question what my budget is. I might just have to allocate myself a bigger budget. I want to go through my makeup and skincare and see exactly what I spent. So what I can do is when I scroll down over here, this is the transactions tracker. This is each individual transaction. So I can just have a look at all my makeup and skincare. I can go through, look at my makeup and skincare transactions. Fanta, I ended up spending more on. I bought Fanta a cat toy because we're having a lot of problems with Fanta. So maybe I have to say no more cat toys this year. I have to give myself a rule, just try to make do with what we have already. My business expenses are small fees that come out during the month for my website and any stationery or anything that I need for work. And they were a bit more than usual. Oh, that's right. I got some computer equipment from Amazon, which has actually been really helpful. Definitely an essential thing that I needed for work. Eating out, I budgeted $200 and ended up spending $45.77 over. Clothes, I budgeted $0 and I spent $0. So proud of myself. Coffee, I budgeted $140 for coffee and I spent $60. So that's pretty good. We make most of our coffees at home, but I do go out for a coffee and a baby chino with my son. So that's where that's been spent. In terms of saving, this month, I was also able to put away $1,000 into my emergency fund, which is good because I just wanted to make sure that that's really topped up before my surgery coming up. I was able to put away $120 for tax. I have 2 other savings accounts. So I have a savings account called Pay Myself First, and I was able to put away $120 into that. And my joint savings account with Alex, I was able to put away $151. In this section here, we have subscriptions and memberships. I have a lot of different subscriptions and memberships for work, for running my blog and just running an online content business. Doing all the subscriptions and memberships was good because it made me check all my subscriptions and memberships and made me realize that I don't need Amazon Prime and I don't need Audible anymore. I just used all my Audible credits, and I much prefer to read physical books. And considering I've spent so much money on physical books, I should probably just delete my Audible account. And Amazon Prime I don't need because I'm trying to cut back on spending anyway. This little graph is quite nice. It's where does most of my money go? So down here it shows that most of my money goes to health and medical, which is exactly what I thought. And then 1,000 went into my emergency fund this month. This is what's interesting to me, is like expenses like books and home and eating out. They're easy ones that I can like cut back on. Next month, I will not spend that much money on books. Next month, I will hope to not spend that much money on home either, because I'm going to set myself some more rules. So yeah, this is just really a nice way of looking at it. The graphs all go automatically, which is really nice. Let's talk now about if you are wanting to set up this for yourself. So when you first purchase this spreadsheet, if you go to the bottom on this little tab, you get all the instructions, which is really nice, and it's really clear, and there's a little video that you can watch to begin with, which is really good. So the first thing you do is you start with your annual totals, which this starts out blank, but you put in all your different income sources, and you put in all your different big bills, all your subscriptions, and your expenses. Pop them in here and they populate into January, into your first month. Okay, so now we are in February, and I'll just show you how it looks when it's empty. So at the start of every month or at the end of every month, you get to pop in your budget. So you can just go back to the previous month and copy your previous budget. So if I go into January and I copy everything that I've budgeted for January, Control C. This is just how I'm doing it into Feb, and Control V. And then I'm just going to go through this again and check that this is exactly what I want to budget for things. Now my spreadsheet is ready and filled out to go for February. Last month when I did my transactions tracker, some people do it daily. I think that's a lot, like that's too much. I don't have the time to be doing like whipping this out daily. I'd rather do like probably in 2 separate chunks, like maybe halfway through the month when I get half an hour, and then maybe another half hour at the end of the month when I'm like putting in all my income at the same time. That's what I did in January, and I'll probably do the same in February. I have a notification that goes off on my phone at the end of every month to do my finances, and I try to actually block out like an hour or half an hour into my calendar to look over things. That's what I did last month. That's what I'll do this month again, and I'll let you know how that goes. So if you are gonna budget yourself and you're interested in this CoPlenty spreadsheet, it's definitely worth it. And my discount code is in the description for you guys. It takes about 20 minutes to just play around with it, wrap your head around how it works. And then once you get going, you will reap the benefits so quickly. If you want to get on top of your finances and organize your finances, 100% do this. Track your spending. It will open your eyes to what you are really doing. I'm so glad I'm doing this alongside my low buy this year. I think they just go perfectly together, because I don't think I would have been as honest with myself about my low buy if I didn't actually track and see what I was spending at the same time. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in my next update next month. Bye.